Hello, we're just going to have a look at another video here in relation to video quality. Unfortunately we can't really show you the sound quality, but we can show you the video quality between the various copies of Das Boot. Now in this case we have Das Boot on Laserdisc, Das Boot on DVD and Das Boot on Blu-ray. And I have to say, I've always been pretty impressed with the Das Boot film. I did actually have it originally on VHS tape. Around at the same time I had it on Laserdisc, and the VHS one looked brilliant on a 21-inch TV, but didn't look very good on anything else bigger than that. Unfortunately I don't have the VHS tape anymore, so I can't put it in here in the example. But from what I remember, the transfer quality of these three films, especially the first two there, is pretty similar, and the third one I thought was, amazing and mind-blowing, especially the sound. I really thought the sound came to life. We're not going to be able to really demonstrate the sound in this case because obviously the sound is going to be in stereo. It's not going to be in surround or DTS or 5x1, 7x1, etc, etc, etc. It's going to be in basically stereo. So let's get on with it. Let's just try and see what the difference is in the quality of these three discs. Just to give you a quick sort of rundown on the hardware, we will go through that with you now, and we're just going to basically show you the hardware for the simple fact that we want to give you the heads up on what we're going to use to demonstrate this. What we've done in the past is we have always recorded the video from a screen. Now the reason why I record it from a screen rather than a video input device is, number one, I haven't got a video input device, but I do believe the video input device will also add its own artifact, as I've discovered with different things that I've been doing with various Laserdiscs. And also I find that the video quality of this camera, well, it's 1080p for start anyway, it's like your eye looking at the screen, so I think it kind of gives a fairer idea of what the picture actually looks like to the human eye. But just my opinion. Let's take you through the hardware. Okay, this particular projector has been on YouTube a few times. This is the Panasonic PT-AT-6000. It's an 8000 or something if it's a US one. This is not the US one, this is the European model. But yeah, there you are. So we're going to use this project to approximately 100-inch screen. So we're going to record off that 100-inch screen onto the little small screen. Okay, the Laserdisc drive we're going to use is the Pioneer one at the top there, which is the CLD, excuse me, this is the CLD 1950. The 1950 is a single side, and the one below it is a 2950, which is a double side. The picture quality between the two of these, I can't tell the difference. Matter of fact, actually, I've even used the bottom with the S-Video cable, and before anybody points out, it's the machine doing the S-Video separation. Yes, I've tried S-Video on both of them, I've tried video out on both of them, and it's absolutely identical. I cannot tell the difference. What we're going to do is, though, we're going to be outputting obviously the pure analog signal from this to the projector, and then we're also going to then output the exact same analog signal to our surround sound AV receiver, and it then is going to upscale that picture to HDMI output. Now I've set it to just a bog standard 576 progressive. I haven't tried to upscale to 720 or 1080 because it isn't going to be that depth of field anyway. So I've left it at the minimal sort of upscaling. So analog output direct to the projector, analog to the amplifier, and the amplifier will automatically output to the screen with a HDMI cable. And we'll now move along. We'll show you the next bit. Now this is the Marantz 6010. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out whether I should get this one or its bigger brother. Maybe I should have got its bigger brother, I don't know. The biggest downfall between this one and its biggest brother, from what I could tell, was the screen. This is a tiny little screen on this, whereas the other one has a full display screen when you pull down the flap. That said, you can download an app for this, because there's always an app for everything, which will allow you to change volume settings and surround sound settings, etc, etc. So that's pretty handy in the dark room. The only other thing to note is this will output, I think it was 9 speakers, basically using the amplifier for 7 and then an external amplifier for the other ones. And then also, if it lets you, the one above it, the 7010, would actually let you output 9 speakers. So it was 11.2, I think it was done as. So we would actually have a native 9 point. it would have a native 9 amp with an additional 2 amp output, pre-out as if it were, to your own amplifier to give you your 11. In this case here we've got 7 and 2, so we'll show you the amplifier we're outputting to. Okay, and this is the other amplifier we're outputting to. This is a Sony, what's it, DB1080 or 1070, I forget which. It's only a 1070. Yeah, 1070, there's down there, see? DB1070. So basically what this is doing is it's acting as the additional amp, so it's giving our ceiling speakers a bit of a whack. So without that you wouldn't have the ceiling speaker amps. With it we will. We won't be using this DVD player to play back our file, we'll be using another one, so let's quickly show you that. Okay, and quickly the KISS DVD player at the top, that is the DVD player we'll be using to play back our DVDs. It's an extremely good DVD drive. It's got a great progressive output. I have to say the video output on this, it'll output red, green, blue, component and composite all via the SCART cable, which is absolutely fantastic. So what I'm doing is I'm outputting the SCART on this with the component, and the component then is going into the amp which has an input for component. I still believe by my eye that the video signal going to the TV is far superior. What I was using to go to the TV was again component out. Sorry, I was using red, green, SCART, red, green, blue output, so SCART to SCART, which I thought gave a better picture. I also think I did try component out from this drive to the TV, but the TV just basically blatantly ignored the input and did absolutely nothing. So I thought there was something wrong with it. As soon as I outputted to the Marantz amplifier though, of course, hey, everything worked. So, okay, without further ado, we will start off with the Laserdisc and we'll have a look at the quality of that. So, here we go.
Laut oder leiser? Gleich bleibt. Wandert voraus.
Okay, this is the Laserdisc. And there's a couple of speckles there on the screen you may notice, here and there. That's either a laser rot or dirt on the disc. It does actually clear up, but as you can see the picture is pretty good. The thing with the Laserdisc is also the original German dub. There isn't any English speaking on it whatsoever. It's purely the German dub, which is quite good if you want to read text for the whole film. In this case it doesn't matter because there's not really too much action. And it kind of keeps it more authentic as well. I have to say the video on the little screen here is pretty good actually. It's recording it nicely. Okay, we're going to change the projector from the input at the moment, which is going from the machine to the Marantz and into the projector. We're now going to go direct to the projector. So the settings on the screen are the same. Actually, we verified that they are the same. They should be.
Immer ruhig, Männer. Das ist noch gar nichts. einseitiges Licht aus.
Okay, now what we have here is basically the Laserdisc going straight to the projector rather than going through the amplifier, which is obviously cleaning up the picture. Well, it's a version of cleaning up the picture. So I have set the projector to the best possible picture for this Laserdisc that I think, as it was for the HDMI version through the Marantz. So you've got the same video cable going from the laser player to the Marantz, or a video cable going direct from the recorder player, I should say, to the actual projector. So as you can see, the picture on this is still pretty good. On some films it does look better via the amp, but the man says it's up to you. You make your mind up. Let it play for another minute and then we'll show you the DVD. The DVD will just be purely through the amplifier. There's no other way of doing it.
Hauptbackbau.
Obviously this film, this little
Auf 0 Grad gehen.
this little thing is just to demonstrate the difference between Laserdisc, DVD and Blu-ray. That's in the copper. Okay. It's a shame you can't hear the surround. The surround sound on this is actually very, very good. Back speakers, I can hear drips of water on each side individually, which is quite amazing for a surround sound disc. It's also a compliment in the Marantz's way of separating out the surround sound too. I noticed from dusk till dawn the bats were standing at the back of the room moving forward. Very impressive.
Immer ruhig, Männer. Das ist noch gar nichts.
Okay, let's move to the DVD. Here we go. Okay, I got to the same scene here on the DVD. It all turns psychological, physiological, or whatever. Here we go.
Is it getting louder?
Seems constant. Ahead of us.
Well, no, so far actually on the recording is the sound is low. As you can see, a good master DVD is very friggin' good. As you can see, as well, the colours are a little bit sharper than this. I actually compared the Terminator on DVD to the Terminator on Laserdisc, and I have to say that was a hard one to judge.
Left full rudder. Rudder is left full, sir.
Steer due north. Deeper, Chief.
Plane stand 15. Stand 15.
I apologise if you can see sort of ears up here at the top of the screen. I just realised the projector's after moving on me, so it's pointing up towards the ceiling a little bit more than it should be.
Meters forward.
So what you're seeing up here are the actual ceiling lights.
Take ahead 1.
Shadow of them now.
Now it gets psychological, friends.
There's a shark coming in there, look. Pretty good overall colour though, I have to say. That's what the explosion looks like, and then we'll move over to the Blu-ray.
men. There's more to come yet.
Now you may also notice that this DVD is in the English dubbed version. What's great about the English dub on Das Boot is most of the original actors could speak English and came back to dub their own voices. So
Kill unnecessary lights.
that's what happened.
Kill lights. Kill lights.
Okay, let's move to the Blu-ray. This is the Blu-ray. It's definitely the slowest so far. I found the Blu-rays to be extremely slow. That's one thing you can say about Laserdisc versus DVD versus Blu-ray, is Laserdisc is a lot quicker for accessing what you want. Because it's recorded linear rather than scattered around the disc with no sound. That's my fault. Hold on a second, I'll rectify that. These people won't infringe any Sony copyright laws there by having no sound. They'll be happy anyway. Oh, I got to turn the light on for a second. Can't see this friggin' thing. There we are. It's going to be very hard to find it on this, isn't it? Lord. Yeah, we just show a bit. I don't know where that is now. I just don't. Maybe here.
Here. Contact bearing 060. Quite faint.
Maybe I found it. Maybe I found it. There's a chance.
Depth charges. They're blasting someone. What's the bearing from us now?
Moving right, 045 degrees. Moving away from us.
Surface! Surface! Steer 330.
Steer 330. Power 10, stand on 5. All ahead 2000.
Note this in our logbook. In spite of
Blu-rays right there. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you one bonus disc that you may want to see. I'm very disappointed in it. It's one that I had a long time, and I remember watching it and saying to myself at the time, like, this isn't very impressive. I didn't think much of it, I have to say. As you saw there from the Das Boot Laserdisc, the quality of it is very good. The Star Trek Undiscovered Country, which is an older Laserdisc as well, and it's very good. And I've got a fair few Laserdiscs from sort of 89, 92, that sort of era, very, very good, and later ones like Payback and stuff like that. The quality of the video is very, very good. But this particular disc, I was told even recently, it was very, very good. So I basically dug it out. I have two of them. I got Cliffhanger and I got Stargate on what was known as Squeeze Laserdisc. Squeeze Laserdisc. So you don't see anything from that. That's just the disc. You can't see the cover either because the light's off. So I turn the light on. And here we are. Stargate Squeeze Laserdisc. There's the disc. Now, the Stargate Squeeze Laserdisc, I would consider to be, picture-wise, slightly better than the DTS version. Yes, I have the DTS version of Stargate as well. The video quality is only slightly better. There's absolutely no point in this planet of going out and spending hundreds on this Laserdisc. You are wasting your money. You're better off buying other discs that are better recorded. It's like, for example, you've got a little Android phone with a little lens on it, but it's 16 megapixels. The picture you will take with that camera, I've got one myself, will be very, very good. And you can take some very good pictures, but you can't get the same range you'd get if you bought, for example, a Pentax K50 with a wide-angle lens and a few other lenses. But you can't. The Pentax K50 may also be a 16 megapixel camera, but it's going to take a better picture because the lenses are that bit wider, so it can drag in more colour. The other advantage is that obviously the CCD, the little lens that records the picture, it's also a little bit better. But the camera I'm using at the moment, the little lens in that may be smaller, but there's three of them: a red, a green, and a blue. Whereas on some other cameras, like let's say a Canon, there may be a bigger CCD sensor to pick up the light and the colours and all that. So it may be slightly different or slightly better. But what will make a bigger difference, in my opinion, is basically the lens in which is being used. If it's a big lens on a good camera with good megapixel, you're going to get a good picture. If it's not, then you can forget about it. I don't know what it is with this Stargate Laserdisc. I actually checked it twice to make sure somebody hadn't swapped it on me over the years. It's definitely my Squeeze Laserdisc, and I'll be honest with you, I do not see what the big hullabaloo is about. Anyway, without any further delay, I'm going to knock off this. I'm going to put the laser drive back on, and we'll have a quick look at Stargate Squeeze. There you go, Stargate Squeeze. What we'll do is actually we'll transfer it over to the amplifier and see if it makes any better picture of it. You ready?
Please. Tastes like chicken.
Good.
Just more noise.
Yes. Said that was an Egyptian sin. Yeah, the eyebrow.
Did you say then that it might stand the reason if they know one Egyptian son?
Yes.
So, what do you think now of Stargate Squeeze? Think somebody's got a conspiracy? I think somebody's trying to make money out of them. I shouldn't really do this because I've got a copy of Stargate Squeeze. If I ever want to sell it, I won't be able to now because I've just shown you that. Well, it's not that good really. Well, I don't think it's that good. I've got better Laserdiscs that have better picture. Like I said, even the Undiscovered Country. That's what you discover country on. I'll show you what I mean, picture-wise. This is a Star Trek film that was recorded in normal definition with older technology, and it's still far better. You put that up. Okay, we'll be back in a minute.
Paramount is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Okay, See that? Look, it says don't display it. It says nothing about YouTube. Okay. Yeah, well, we're not doing it for that reason. We're not doing it to record the film. We're doing it to demonstrate the quality of the picture. Actually, what I have done is I've actually compared the sound with this Laserdisc with the sound of the Blu-ray box set, and I have to say I can't really tell the difference too much. Yeah, the surround sound on this is actually very, very good, and there's definitely more separation with the DTS disc. That's no doubt about it. But the surround sound on this disc is very, very good. So you wouldn't regret it. It's also a great film. We're going to fast forward in there. Now, sit down. Call it out now.
9521.
Isn't that far superior
Captain's
to
log USS
Stargate?
Excelsior. Hikaru Sulu commanding.
I don't know what it is. I think it looks
After
far
3
better.
years,
Far better.
I've concluded my
Or just
first
as good
assignment
as.
as master of this vessel, cataloging gaseous planetary anomalies in Beta Quadrant. We're heading home under full impulse power. I'm pleased to report that ship and crew have functioned well.
According to this, we've completed our
That's one big iPad. Oh, there goes his cup. Take the sound off down there so we don't infringe on copyrights. Well, as you can see, the picture, that's pretty good. We'll reverse back in a moment and we'll bring it through the amp again. See the differences. Yeah, I think we're right. You should really put seatbelts on these things. Why would you have chairs on wheels? Okay, fair enough. It's probably like a big ship, fairly stable, but my god. Alright, let's rewind it back. Apologize for the delay. Look at that. Beauty of live recording. Well, here we go again. You ready?
Stardate 9521.6. Captain's log USS Excelsior. Hikaru Sulu commanding. After 3 years, I've concluded my first assignment as master.
As you can see, what it does is it actually adds more sharpness to the picture, even though I have the sharpness set to 0. It is adding a lot of artifacts to it, I think.
I'm pleased to report that ship and crew have functioned well.
According to this, we've completed our survey of the entire.
That's looking rougher, I think. That's going from the drive to the amplifier, and the amplifier on a HDMI cable to the projector. Whereas the other way around, we're just going to direct video cables to the projector. And therein lies the lesson. So yeah, okay. Thanks for watching, and I do hope to come back to you very, very soon. And depending on when I put this video out, I do apologise for the delay in showing the videos and putting more videos up. I don't have lots and lots of time. I only have a limited time, unfortunately. I would like to put more up, but there you are. So yes, enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already, I suppose. And yeah, enjoy. Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, we're going to talk for a little while about the DTS format on Laserdisc. Now, basically, the DTS format on Laserdisc will allow you to output a digital soundtrack from the disc via your drive to your surround sound amplifier. Now, the majority of surround amplifiers that support DTS are going to support DTS digital. There's no reason why it won't. So your modern machines will still, be able to decode the DTS signal that's contained on these laser discs. The DTS signal is recorded on the 2 digital tracks. Now, there are no PAL, maybe there's one. There's a 1 PAL DTS laserdisc. There might be one, the German one. I think it might be the only one that I can think of offhand that's a PAL DTS laserdisc. But basically, all DTS laserdiscs I'm going to show you today are all in NTSC format. The NTSC format, because the quality was slightly less than the PAL format, it allowed the recording of a full 2-channel digital DTS soundtrack and, in addition, the 2 standard analog audio soundtracks. So on the PAL discs you won't find any DTS, apart from that German one. It's their Schroeder or something or other. I think I'm nearly sure, I don't know whether that's a PAL disc or not. I know it's a German one. I'm not sure it's PAL or not. I would presume so, considering it's in Germany. Anyway, the PAL format basically didn't have any DTS laserdiscs, so for the purpose of this film, it certainly does none here that have DTS soundtrack on them. The DTS is recorded on the 2 digital tracks, as I said, and on the 2 analog tracks you have the ability to play back a standard DTS stereo or Dolby Surround soundtrack, but it's obviously going to be an analog format. But if you're watching an analog medium, sure, you might as well watch an analog sound. The downside in a lot of the DTS discs is basically that you'll have the 2 digital tracks, fair enough, but you'll have one of the analog tracks will be a mono track, and the other track will be a mono track, and one of the mono tracks would be the director's commentary, and the other mono track could also be director's commentary, or some sort of score that's been eliminated out, or some sort of other extra feature in relation to the sound. So if you didn't have the DTS decoder, which again most machines do nowadays, you were pretty much knackered, because all you had was DTS disc you couldn't play back and a mono surround soundtrack. Now, briefly on the Dolby Digital ones, I'll just grab one of them. We'll just get payback, that'll do. This is payback. This is not DTS. This is just standard AC3. The advantage of the AC3, or first of all, the disadvantage is you need a decoder to decode the actual sound. In the case of this disc here, you basically have this full surround sound soundtrack on it in digital tracks 1 and 2, and on the analog tracks you have one of them which is being hacked out, and it's basically has a modulated frequency coding on it, which is basically your Dolby Digital discrete 5.1, and the other one then is just a simple mono sound. So you can have this film in your standard digital, which is Dolby Surround or Dolby Stereo. Your second choice will be Dolby Digital 5.1, but you need a decoder for it. And then your third choice then is just to fall back on the analog. Now, I think in general these are a better choice to have than the DTS discs. I'm not saying for sound, but for choice, because if you don't happen to have the Dolby Digital, you can fall back to the surround sound. The surround sound on a lot of Laserdiscs, to my ear, are as good as the Blu-ray versions of some of the surround sounds. They're not as discreet, mind you, but the sound is pretty good. One good example I have, which I mentioned before, is the Star Trek Undiscovered Country. The sound on that is actually very, very good in Dolby Surround, so much so that the system does a very good job of decoding it, just as good as it does with the Blu-ray drive, the Blu-ray copy of it. The difference is that the Blu-ray copy does have a very discreet Basically the rear channels are better separated. That's the best way to describe it. The rear mono channels in the surround sound are exactly that. They're two rear surrounds that are just jammed there. The centers and the heights that I have in my system are the same thing. It's a bit foggy compared to the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray does separate out a hell of a lot better, but if you use a surround sound, it's pretty good. What I have done is I've played back the surround sound, I played back the 5.1, which is on a lot of these AC3 discs, or as they're known, or Dolby Digital Discs, which is the more modern name. This is your Dolby Digital logo down here. It was originally known as Dolby AC3. Anyway, what I'm saying is that the Dolby Surround soundtrack is actually very, very good on a lot of the Laserdiscs. So look out for Laserdisc that has digital audio on it. There's a little logo usually on them somewhere. It's actually not on this one, would you believe? Of all the discs I took out, it's not on. But there's a little logo on a lot of them that indicates that there's a there we go there. See, digital sound. That logo there. You see that? So you see that logo on them, which basically telling you that it has digital sound within it. In the case of this, it's got digital sound, yes, but it's a DTS digital sound. But most of the normal AC3 ones will have digital sound written on them, because the digital soundtracks are the Dolby Surround soundtrack, which is great. So you got your Dolby Surround, and if you want, you can then switch over to your AC3, but you don't have to. You need a demodulator to play back the surround sound, so that's the disadvantage. But this day and age, it's good to have the DTSs, but you know what I mean. There's no need to spend thousands on some of these, because to be honest with you, like an example on a DTS disc will be something like Get Short, and that again is just the AC3. Now there's no real point in buying that unless you're trying to collect them all, trying to get that baby on DTS now, is there? That's handy the way I have that just there. That is actually dead handy. Now let's quickly go through what we have on DTS anyway. I don't have a lot of time. It's saying I've got like about 10 minutes to record here, so I'll have to be fairly swift. So anyway, that's Crimson Tide. Very good sound on the Crimson Tide one. The Das Boot one, as you've seen already on another video I was playing back, the sound on that is unreal, and that's only Dolby Surround. Next baby here is Stargate. Now I closely touched on this because I was saying that I had Stargate on Squeeze. Let's see if I have that one handy. I'll show you. There, Stargate Squeeze. There's Stargate Squeeze. So I have Stargate on both formats, Stargate Squeeze and DTS. I find that the DTS discs, the quality of the picture, does be very good on them compared to some of their standard non-DTS counterparts. For example, the Crimson Tide is a bit sharper on the DTS discs than it is on the AC3 one. There's not much in it, but it is a little bit sharper. The Stargate DTS, strangely enough, does actually have a worse picture than the Squeeze Squeeze disc. That's definitely different. You definitely can see the difference between this and the Squeeze disc. You definitely can. But I don't think the picture quality on it is very good, to be honest with you, anyway. But I had to get it to find out what was going on. I had the DTS one. The Squeeze one was one that I had stored away, and I said I had to check this out. I don't remember it being good when I watched it originally, and I was right, it wasn't. Here's Casino, a film I haven't watched in a long time. So yeah, I can't really remember it apart from a car exploding at the start. Mulholland Falls, and I still have the seal. I got Flubber, that's still sealed. I haven't watched it, I never watched it. I bought these things, never got a chance to watch them. I did actually see this on the TV and on VHS and all sorts of shenanigans, but I never could watch my DTS one of it, so there you go. Spawn, another one again I picked up. But never watched it. I'm told it's an absolute pile of rubbish, but you know, I think the cover is feckin' epic on it, you know. And the covers on these are generally epic, but I like those sort of artistic covers, they're quite interesting. Again, another one I'm told is absolute pants, but again, I have to get it for the cover, but that cover is just, again, pretty epic. The first one actually was very, very good, and I have it on AC3 actually. And funnily enough, there's a guy on here, Retrospectives Reviews, Oliver Harper, and he actually mentions the fact that the AC3 soundtrack is as good as the DTS soundtrack. Now, I don't know because I haven't got the DTS one, and I'm not going to go out and buy it. but I would actually believe him on it because the sound on it is unbelievable. Originally I had the sound going through a Sherwood Newcastle 925 amp and into my main amp, and the sound was absolutely thumping. The Sherwood had a fantastic sound setup on it and an RF input, so I was inputting the RF signal to it and it was outputting the 5.1 to my 7.1 amp as it was then, my Sony 7.1. It was a Sony 2400 I had. Anyway, that's Street Fighter. Apparently Kylie Minogue's in this, so yeah, haven't watched on Laserdisc. In the name of the Father. I'm sure I mentioned this one before. Anyway, there's In the Name of the Father. In the Name of the Father is a very good film. If you haven't seen it, it is definitely worth a watch. But you know, don't go to town by the DTS one because I don't know whether that's going to make a difference. Firestorm I have never watched either. Again, that's brand new and sealed. So all those ones you just saw there were all sealed, never opened. Next baby I have is The Nightmare Before Christmas, which is pretty good. I like that. Actually, yeah, I like it. It's good. Not the best film I've ever watched, but I do like it. 12 Monkeys. If you've never seen 12 Monkeys, you must watch it. That's DTS. And DTS GoldenEye. Well, yes, DTS GoldenEye is very good. What I did do actually was I played the visuals of the GoldenEye Blu-ray and had the sound of this one playing. And you couldn't tell the difference. It's amazing to think that Laserdisc had a fantastic sound on it, and then they got rid of it and stuck with VHS. Well, especially here in Ireland, we were stuck with VHS anyway. And then we eventually got the DVD, which stuck us again with crap quality. And then we do full circle and go to a fantastic quality with the old Blu-ray. So it's funny how an old technology has such a good quality soundtrack. The River Wild, yeah, very good. Great film. Not the best film ever put to the celluloid, no, not at all. But if you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth a watch. There's a good few plot twists in it. It's very entertaining and you know, good. What's about what we call popcorn movie. Sie Waterworld, the Waterworld, the Wasserwelt. That's very bad German, but I don't know. Water, Wasser, World, Welt, I don't know. Wasserwelt? Probably called something else in German, I don't know, you know. Anyway, so this is Waterworld. Waterworld actually sounds very, very good with the sound, I have to say. The sound quality on this disc is great. When he actually arrives in Waterworld, you can actually hear the docks and the banging of the ropes off, the background noise of people. The soundtrack on it is brilliant on this. I have to say, brilliant. Okay, here's one that's definitely not for the girls. This is From Dusk Till Dawn. I have to say, I had watched this years ago. I had totally forgotten about it, and I happened to pick this up. And I watched it again and didn't realise the scene in the middle. I'd totally forgotten about it. But yeah, strange old film, but yeah, entertaining. But just be forewarned, it's definitely an 18s movie. But what's great about this actually, again, sound-wise, is the bats, when they start flying around the building on the outside, the surround on that part is just unbelievable. But again, pick yourself this up on the standard NTSC Laserdisc, because it actually has a DTS sound on it, and it's very, very good. The surround sound separation, even on the standard DTS stereo disc, is very, very good. It's an NTS disc, NTSC disc, not the PAL one, the NTSC one. Has a DTS stereo soundtrack on it for definite. Very good quality. The next one here, of course, is Armageddon. Armageddon is something that I do have on DVD as well, but I love that cover. Love the cover, look at the faces on them. We're gonna save the world. Yes, we are. Yeah, okay. Sudden Death, yeah, that's great crack. If you haven't seen it, you should watch it. Even if you're not a Jean-Claude Van Damme, bonjour, monsieur, ça va? Even if you don't like Jean-Claude Van Damme, you will like this. This is pretty cool, you know. And of course, another one behind him, you know. Van Damme is a hard target. There he is, you know. Yes, cool, man, cool. Another disc, I actually picked this one up recently because I have 2 copies of Hoodlum on AC3. Dolby Digital, and they're rotters, absolute rotters. I can't say I thought the film was good or great. It is watchable if you like a gangster film. Yeah, it's got some good scenes in it. The story cooks along nicely. It's worth seeing, but I certainly wouldn't pay $139.95 for it. Okay, the Nutty Professor. Can't do his laugh. Okay, so Dark City is a good example of a Laserdisc that has the DTS Digital surround track, and then it has both analog tracks are taken up with 2 commentaries. So this particular DTS disc will be absolutely useless to somebody who hasn't got a DTS decoder, because the actual surround soundtrack on it is just, as I said, the digital is the DTS, and the 2 analog tracks are both taken up by director's commentaries. Funnily enough, I had bought this disc back in the day. I then decided to upgrade to the DVD, and I was shafted. The DVD had Dolby Pro Logic surround sound, and absolutely no special features, no director's commentaries, and no commentary by Mr. What's his name? It's down there somewhere. There's no commentary by, what's his name there? Robert Ebert, is that his name? Robert Ebert. Yeah, Roger Ebert. There you go, sorry. So I was missing that, so yeah, okay. Right, I'm going to have to change tape here. I'm back in a minute. Okay, we'll continue on. We have Casper, the Friendly Ghost. Casper, actually this is pretty good in DTS. There's some good scares in it too, actually. Just for kids, there was a particular scene where a ghost appeared in the front with an evil face, and I jumped. I have to say I jumped. Good film. Okay, Schwarzenegger's True Lies. I can't pick it up for some reason. It's slipping through my fingers. Yeah, that's good. I have this. I have a couple of copies of this. Apparently, the Pan and Scan one is a very good quality picture, and the Pan and Scan one is also approved by the director. So yeah, it might be worth picking up the Pan and Scan one, because the Pan and Scan actually fills up the full screen. It may actually be the, what's the way to describe it? It might actually be a squeeze version of True Lies, the Pan and Scan one, because you're actually filling the full screen. Anyway, good film to watch, and the DTS soundtrack on it is actually pretty good. This is one that doesn't need to be on DTS, that's for sure. But funny old film all the same. Well worth seeing if you haven't seen it before. Now we have our next one, which is Rush Hour. Rush Hour on DTS is very good. Very watchable film, very entertaining, and yeah, good surround sound on that baby. The Shadow, excellent surround sound, absolutely top dollar, top surround sound. Well worth watching if you haven't seen it, and surround sound is excellent. This baby needs no introduction, surely. The Lost World on DTS, yeah. Cole the Conqueror, yep. This was new in the wrapper until recently. I was playing back the AC3 one, and I decided to crack open this baby and give it a watch, and yeah, pretty good. And look, there's the place it was bought, look. ShopRite Video. Good film. If you like the Conan films, especially the first one, you'll probably like that. It's good. Or Hercules, that thing he made called Hercules. I've never watched it, but I like that film actually. It's pretty cool. And here's Dragonheart. Yeah, that's cool. This one isn't. This is actually a Japanese DTS Laserdisc. I would prefer to have the American DTS one, because it just all matches in together nicely, or have all the Japanese ones because they all match in together nicely, or one or the other. But yeah, that's what happens. We've got Babe. Probably doesn't need to be in DTS either. But yeah, good all the same. Mimic. That's a good DTS laser. Good picture quality in this baby. Good film. Good picture quality on it. Yeah. Shine. Another one that really doesn't need to be on DTS, I'd say. Sorry about that. I just can't seem to catch it. But there it is all the same. Shine on DTS. Here's Volcano. Fairly corny film. But yeah, it's on DTS. As you can see from the price, 10 quid. They're really trying to get rid of this one. Yeah, they really saw me going there. Time Cop. DTS. Good film. If you've never seen it, definitely worth a watch on any format. Silly film. Good. And of course, the first film ever on DTS, Jurassic Park. Well, hey, DTS, because this is the first film that's ever used it. And then we have Kiss the Girls. That's actually a good film. I enjoyed that now, I have to say. That was good fun. Con Air, good fun to watch. Enjoyable. Well worth the watch if you haven't seen it. Definitely say watch it. The Jackal, same thing. Good film. Well worth the watch. Well worth seeing if you haven't seen it. We have them Blown Away. RPCR know, which is Blown Away. A lot of the people in this know with very strange Irish accents that don't really sound the same or right at all, like, you know what I mean? Like, I've got an Irish accent, and that's the Irish accent, and that's, so you can see there's a difference. One sounds right and one doesn't sound right at all. And here's The Rock. Good film. Good picture. Good film. Somebody mentioned that the shotguns in this, when they go off, sound like cannons. They do. They do sound like cannons. I think it's been a little bit too hot on the old sound for the shotguns. Daylight on DTS. Good one. Yep. Speed. Again, the standard version, even the PAL version of this is pretty good. The sound is pretty good. Probably not any benefit to be getting it on DTS, but if you have it, definitely worth holding on to. It's a good film. It's a bit of crack, you know. The sequel I eventually bought on DVD. Oh my god, it's so bad. It's not even bad good, it's just bad. Strange Days. Very good picture on this one, I thought. And the surround on it is excellent as well. It's very well separated out. It's a gatefold as well. There's a few gatefolds in there. We'll open them up in a second, we'll have a look. But yeah, that's a gatefold. See that? It's nice, isn't it? So it gives you a couple of information. Even though there mightn't be much on the discs in some cases, the fact that some of them are gatefold really does make a difference. There's Lost in Space. A lot of people don't like this, think it's terrible. Picture wise it's very good actually, in my opinion of course. And as it says there, look, DTS decoder required, you know, widescreen letterbox version. Yeah, he stuck that on as I was buying it. Oh, you needed a decoder for this, he says. So right you do. See what one there, this gatefold. I'll open it up. That's not a gatefold, no. I don't think that's a gatefold, is it? It's got two. Actually, I like this. See this on the MGM ones. I love the covers. It's good, isn't it? I like these covers. I'd love to get more of them for my MGM discs, you know. Actually, speaking of that, on 2001 A Space Odyssey, it was going to be recorded in DTS but never happened. But they did record it with an AC3 soundtrack. And the AC3 soundtrack is very good. Good separation. At the start of it, I thought there was somebody in the room telling me my jumper was being left somewhere. Watch the start of the film, you know what I mean. Okay. No, this one's a gatefold, alright. There, look at that. Cool, man, cool. Got 2 copies of this actually, Jurassic Park, and 2 copies of Time Cop as well, actually, come to think of it. Jurassic Park, the other copy plays back fine, but it's in bits. It's like somebody wiped their bum and somebody got their hands on it and a mess of it and it's saying, this is gatefold as well, this one. And it's all in Japanese though, so it's not really going to mean too much. There you go. It's good though. Look at that. Moon picture. Cool, man. Cool. Look, the little... Look. If you've seen the film, you know what that is. If you haven't seen the film, you've got to watch it first. Otherwise I'll ruin it on you. Try to sort these out while I was doing it. That one there, that one there. I have different covers on some of them. I probably should swap them out really. Oh, see there's no gatefolds there, I don't see the scene anymore. Strange Days, we opened that one up, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Strange Days I also have on, this one here is a gatefold as well, yeah. It's not, it's in the wrapper here. Strange Days I have on the AC3 as well. Good, aren't they? You know, gives you a nice bit of background information on the film and stuff like that, you know. The big picture. You know, we can always cut it out, I suppose, and stick it on somewhere, you know. We have a couple of copies of it. I have it again, I have True Lies as well on the HC3 as well, actually, come to think of it. I don't know, I have 1 copy or 2 copies of it. The problem is that I do have Laserdiscs that I wouldn't mind selling, but nobody wants to pay for the shipping. But people want to get the shipping for half nothing, so I find that it's impossible to ship them anywhere. The shipping from Ireland at the moment, as I'm making this film, so I say August of 2016. The problem with the shipping is that these are, with packaging on, they work at just in and around 2 kilos. So in the roundabout, this is a gatefold as well, isn't it now? In the roundabout 2 kilos is an issue. Because once you hit 2 kilos, the postage price has changed, as they do in the US, actually, come to think of it. In the US, to ship a disc to Ireland is about $20. To ship a disc from Ireland to the US is about $15. And people won't pay it, you know. There's golden action. But the thing about it is, like, it's €15 to send one of these. It's €15 to send this from America. It's $20, which is about, well, it's under 20, so let's say it's €17 to ship this from America to Ireland, and it's €15, about $17 to ship this back to America. But nobody wants to pay the money. People go, nah, not paying that. So I don't know why. If you want them, you have to pay for the shipping, as the man says. So there's a, yeah, this one's no, these aren't gatefolds. These aren't gatefolds. So there you are. That's my collection of DTSs. I hope I explained some of the pros and cons of DTS Laserdisc, and until next time, hopefully we'll do a computer thing the next time. Maybe I'll show you something with the old Commodore 64. I have one of them, I just haven't taken it down yet. See you in a bit.